Hare Krishna, Namaste. Question is, what is biggest pain? The question is shorter, single liner, but the response is going to be longer. To give a short answer to this question, pains are relative. Some pain for someone may be nothing. For someone, the same pain may matter a lot. Now let's see more details. Pains can be classified into two categories. Physical pain that caused on one's body. Second is mental pain that affects one's mind. Any pain that caused in our body, like leg pain, back pain, chest pain, stomach pain, headache, etc., are all physical pains which can be mostly cured by medicines or through some treatments. If the medical treatment doesn't solve these pains, then that pain itself becomes part of our life, where we do not pay much attention, we live with it. Whereas, when it comes to the second category of pain, that which is caused in our mind is called mental pain. It is of many types, and it cannot be treated simply with medicines. The reason that we are saying it cannot be treated with medicine is because it is unseen. But according to the medical science, the mind is not a physical substance. Brain is a physical substance. The medical science says just like the light bulb is physical substance, but the light coming out of the bulb is not. Likewise, brain is a physical substance, but the mind, which is part of brain, is not a physical substance. It is a mental phenomena of thoughts, emotions, etc. The science so far cannot isolate mind from the brain, but connect it as a functional representation. But whereas in the Vedic scriptures, the mind is a substance, number one. Number two, mind is not part of brain. Mind is located where the Atma is situated. That is, Atma is situated in the heart region and mind is situated in the same region close to the Atma. Second thing is the example that we saw, like how the light depends on the light bulb. The light is not a substance by itself, but the light bulb is. Over here, mind can be separated from the Atma. Mind by itself a substance, which is the byproduct of the Prakriti, the material creation. Now the purpose of this audio is not to argue or prove who's right and who's wrong, but to bring the differences between these two schools of thought. The point that we are trying to drive here is to convey the message that it is very hard to cure the mind. That doesn't mean there is no cure for mind. Physical pains are visible. Arm pain, leg pain, back pain, heart pain, all these can be seen. So it can be controlled to some extent or completely eradicated through the medicines or surgery, etc. But the mind cannot be seen or touched. It can only be felt. Because we are able to think, we know there is mind. And this thinking process is only given as a faculty to the living entities, the Atmas. A chair or any material object does not have a mind. They can't think anything. The chair does not think, he's too heavy. The carpet does not cry that it's hurting me. Because these are non-living entities. They are matter. They don't have mind. It's only the living entities which has mind, through which it goes through variations, various emotions. Generally, the pain that caused in one's mind could be of various reasons, especially to deal with relationships, mostly caused by another living entity, and it is mostly due to another human. Someone may hurt us by words, either directly or indirectly. Someone may hurt us physically, that may cause both bodily pain and mental pain. In Ramayana, Dasaratha's heart was broken when he heard the words from Kaikeyi, when she said Rama must go to forest for 14 years. Dasaratha was not an ordinary king emperor. He even helps the Devatas. Such a great warrior lost all his strength when he heard the words from Kaikeyi. So the pain that causes in one's mind is much more greater than the pain that may cause in one's body. All the Devatas like Indra, Yama are afraid of Ravana those days. But in the war, when Rama told Ravana, Indru poi nalaiva, meaning go today, take some rest, relax, and come back tomorrow. That words for Ravana pretty much made him dead. It was a great insult for him. Lakshmana got the pain when he heard harsh words from Mother Sita. Also, when Rama told Lakshmana, you should return back to Ayodhya, that pain Lakshmana could not take. Small boy Dhruva was painful when he heard heavy words from his stepmother. When the mother said, you are not qualified to sit on your father's lap because you are not born to me. Krishna in fact says in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter 34th sloka, Akirtim chapi bhutani katayasyanti te avyayam. My dear Arjuna, you are saying that you are going to go into the forest, giving up the fight in Kurukshetra. Do you know what's going to happen when you walk out of this battlefield? Duryodhana, Dushasana, and others will talk ill about you, will defame you. They will say you're going out of fear of them. For Kshatriya like you, dishonor is worse than death. So we can find so many incidents in Puranas and Itihasas that how one gets mentally affected, and such pain are severe in degree than the pain that one get in their body. Let's come to the current situation. Say a match happens between two different countries. Let's pick cricket. If India wins against another country, Indians become very happy. They call for a party. And when India loses, that is the greatest pain. Also, in our lives, sometimes people are there who don't worry about whether they win or not. They don't want their enemy to win. They don't want those whom they don't like to be successful in their life. They don't care whether they are success or not, but not the others. There are such categories of people that brings them unbearable pain. When the politician loses their vote, it's painful for them. For the students, if they fail their exam, that's the greatest pain. For a person who searches for a job, when he fails interviews, that's pain. For a singer, when he gets cold before going to the stage, that's painful. For the poor man, poverty is a pain. For the rich man, maintaining his wealth is a pain. For one who is attached to name, fame and prestige, if someone else becomes famous, honored, prestigious, glorified, that becomes pain. For the parents, when their grown-up children do not get along with their brothers and sisters, that's painful. Now we must also know that pain is big or small depends on time, place and situation. For example, a parent correcting their child can become painful or not depends on where this incident takes place. if the parent corrects their children in their house, it is normal for the child, as the child must have heard such things for several times, several years. But if the parents does the same correction in front of someone else in a birthday party, for that child, that is painful. So, whether we are correcting a person privately or whether we are correcting that person publicly defines the degree of pain. A great saint, Valluvar, says, "தீயினால் சுட்ட புண் உள்ளாரும் ஆறாதே நாவினால் சுட்ட வடு." Meaning, if someone got wounded due to some fire, due to some burn, it can be cured. It will get cured. But not those words, heavy words, that comes out of someone's mouth, which stays for very long period in one's mind. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter, Tulya Ninda Sutir Mauni. He says, those who treat both fame and infame, victory and loss equally are very dear to me. One may say that's where the problem is. How can I treat both equally? Is there a medicine that can take care of that? Well, as we said, no medicines. But before we get into the solution part, we should know physical pain or mental pain, in one sense, it is good to have. Because if we have the pain, that means it indicates that we have some disease, some problems within our body or within our mind. That means we can take some steps to treat it, address it. If we don't get the body pain, the disease will be hidden from us. Then it is danger to the life. Likewise, if we don't realize the mental pain that we are going through, then we'll not try to find a solution to resolve the problem that caused the mental pain. So let's focus on what to do to get cured with the mental pain. We should know the happiness or the distress that we go through is not caused by someone else, not by some other external object. It is all the mind which goes through this variation and decides this is favorable and this is not. And the same thing which is not favorable can become favorable tomorrow. Likewise, that which is favorable now can become unfavorable tomorrow. So everything is happening within us. It is not outside of us. So we got to train our mind in such a way not to get carried away by these things. For example, a person who's young in age, in his 20s, may like to eat a lot of sugar, sweets. He feels that sweets are pleasurable for him. When he reaches his age, in his 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever it may be, then the same sweet becomes bitter for him. The sweet has not changed. It's the same ingredients. But what has changed within him is the mind before said it is pleasurable. Now the same mind is telling it is not. It is dangerous for you. So whether it is favorable or not favorable, whether it gives pleasure or doesn't give pleasure, it's not depends on that object. It depends on us, our mind. That defines what is favorable and what is not, what is painful and what is not. Therefore, Krishna says, Abhyasena Kaunteya. One has to repeatedly train our mind. It is not a Sunday program. It is not a few minutes program. One has to constantly, repeatedly keep training the mind to understand the reality, to understand what is actually favorable and what is not. We must know that we are not this body. Also, we are not this mind. Krishna says this very clearly in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We are Atmas. We are full of knowledge, Jnana Swarupa. But that Jnana is completely covered due to our previous karmas and vasanas. Otherwise, we are never ever affected by anything that's happening around us. When a person understands he is Atma, then also understand the pains that one goes through is simply because of their previous karmas. Therefore, let those things happen as the way it is, but let me be aloof, not get affected by those happenings. Even if I get affected, I'll take that I am just draining my karmas and happily move forward. In Garuda Purana, it is said that when a person dies, he experiences a sting of 42,000 scorpions. One may ask, well, I saw my grandfather dying. There were no scorpions around him. We should understand this pain is not physical, it is mental. The more we are involved in worldly things and desires, attachments, the pain we get at the time of death will be more. The number 42,000 scorpion is not definite. It could be more or it could be less. Depends on our attachment to the material things. At the time of leaving our body, when we think of our family, our children, our property, our things, then obviously the pain is going to be more because we don't want to leave them and go. Therefore, Garuda Purana says that the pain one experiences at the time of death is the greatest pain, like the sting of 42,000 scorpions. Of course, we must have faith in these words that comes from Puranas, Itihasas and Vedas, because that person who dies is not going to come back and tell the experience that he went through. The only way we can learn these things by having faith in the scriptures. But also we should know that what we just said may not be true for everyone. For those who are disappointed with what has been offered by the material world, or one may be frustrated with the material life, such person will be eagerly waiting to leave their body naturally. I am saying naturally because we have no rights to kill ourselves. We won't dwell into that topic. That's not the scope of this question. So one who is disappointed, frustrated, may be happy to leave this body. Also, one who has great bhakti, that scorpion has no effect on them. He will not go through any such pains because he is also eagerly waiting to leave this body and go back to the spiritual world and get engaged fully in the service of the Lord. Because the services offered here are always temporary. It is restricted by the time factor. For example, it is great pain for a lover to be separated from his beloved. That is a material pain, whereas a devotee feels great separation from the Lord. That is spiritual pain. Now what we are learning here is about material pain and spiritual pain. The material pains are not good, whereas spiritual pain is very good. And that is exactly one must aspire in one's life, to come to the stage of that level of bhakti. When one think of their separation from the Lord, it gives them pain that cannot be compared to any other pain of this world. True and pure devotee get pain when they don't get a chance to serve the Lord, when they don't get the chance to associate with Lord's devotees. They get the pain when other devotees are in pain. They get the pain when they don't hear Krishna Katha for a day. They get the pain when they don't get a chance to worship the Lord. They get the pain when they are not able to utter the name of the Lord. And they get the biggest pain when they cannot think of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishyayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govindam virahename. My Lord Govinda, because of separation from you, I consider even a moment a great millennium. Tears flow from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I see the entire world as void. In Srimad Bhagavatam, gopis of Vrindavan get pain because of their separation from Krishna. They say, "It is only for your sake that we, your devoted servants, maintain our lives. We have been searching everywhere for you, so please show yourself to us. By you not coming in front of us, you are killing your maid servants. Our minds long for your association. Please give to us just a bit of that medicine which counteracts the disease in your devotee's heart." So to conclude, what is biggest pain is totally depends on the person. Certainly, material, mental pains is not the biggest pain, whether we agree or don't. But if someone disagrees and they feel, "You don't know the pain that I'm going through," then here's a solution. The material, mental pains can be cured only by replacing it with the spiritual mental pain. As they say in Tamil, "Mullai mullal edukkanum," meaning to remove a thorn from our feet, we use another thorn. Therefore, we already have a pain in our heart, in our mind, that is material pain. To remove that, we have to use another pain, which is the spiritual pain. And that spiritual pain can only be developed through proper association of those people who have such pains. That means when we associate with such people, that pain is contagious. We get it. When we develop such a love towards the Lord, we will not get impacted by any material pains. Rather, we will start getting spiritual pain of separation. And if we get this pain in our life, in this lifetime, then we can say we are successful of taking this human body. And again, that also happens only through the mercy of the Lord. So we intensely, with sincerity, pray to the Lord to give that pain rather than asking to remove the other pains. When that spiritual pain comes, the material pains will automatically vanish. Therefore, let's all sincerely call out the name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna.